Hello guys, hello everybody. Welcome to my Y2 World YT channel. This is again I'm a singer, eternal voice. Again, welcome. This is at your service. Safety engineer Sotero Nepomuceno Jr. and a chemical engineer graduated from Cebu Institute of Technology University. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, now we have another topic, but actually this is really an extension only to the one I did yesterday, which is regarding immunology. Okay, but unfortunately it was not uploaded because of network provider issue. So the signal is very weak. So the network provider signal is very weak yesterday, and it's very slow until now. It's still on process. But still, I am very eager and willing to share this information to all of you guys. So here we are. Here we go again. I'm going to share this information to you now, of course. So immunology. So immunology is also a branch of biology, or one of the topics of biology, or shall we say biochemistry, right? When we say biochemistry, it's a combination of biology and chemistry. But when we deal of immunology also, it undergoes a series of reactions in terms of the antibodies and the antigens, right? Okay, so we need to know briefly what is really an antigen and also an antibodies. Okay, but it's impossible that this antigens and antibodies will not react without the presence of various biological substances through chemical reactions also. Okay, so partly biology and also partly chemistry. The chemistry there is just involving chemical reactions through those biological substances involve these antibodies and antigens. Okay, first we need to discuss first the definition, basic definition, in order we can learn something. Okay, because I think so if we are not really taking medical courses, or for example if our courses have no medical subjects, or shall we say in our high school days, okay, we are not reaching these topics, then we don't have an idea for these antibodies and antigens. Okay, because these are really topics for biology also. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we need to learn what is an antigen. Okay, first, antigen is a foreign material. Okay, it is a foreign material in which it's in the surface of the pathogen. Okay, so this pathogen is really a foreign material or infectious microbes causing disease and sickness. So in short, disease causing microbes, and this really will bind to those various substances inside our immune system. Okay, because normally those antigens will not be there if there are no substances they are craving for. Of course, they have purpose why they are going inside our immune system. Okay, individually, something like that. Okay, these are antigens, foreign materials. Okay, and then this is under the surface of the pathogens. Okay, when we mean antigen, this is really causing diseases. Okay, could it be acute diseases, acute sickness, or could it be chronic diseases or chronic illnesses in the future if these antigens, which are found in pathogens, are not really recognized, destroyed, and killed. Okay, like that. So be careful with these antigens. So specific examples of antigens are viruses and bacteria. Okay, so in our science subjects, if we study this, topics, it it was not mentioned that these are really antigens. We go directly specifically to viruses, parasites, fungi, bacteria, microbes like that. But these are all generally antigens. Okay, so this is capable of stimulating an immune response. Why? Our immune will respond to this antigen, okay, automatically or immediately. Okay? Why? Because these are foreign materials, and our immune system are categorized and composed of innate, okay, responses or non-specific defense mechanism, and we have also the adaptive, okay, responses or the specific defense of our diseases that will come in our body. So specific disease defense mechanism, which is the adaptive immunity, and the innate immunity, which is the non-specific disease defense mechanism. Okay, like that. So there are two categories. So in the first category, which is the innate, okay, immunity, so these are very very active, okay, and this will act immediately in a few hours after the microbes, viruses, and the bacteria appear inside our body or our immune system. So quick, something like that. So non-specific defense mechanism. Okay, non-specific disease defense mechanism. Okay, number two is the adaptive immunity, which are the T cells and the B cells immunity. Okay, like that. Okay, this will recognize and destroy the invading pathogens individually. Okay. Now, what is good in adaptive immunity? It remembers the pathogens, okay, that fights, okay, this antigens, okay, acquiring a specific pathogen, or let's say pathogen specific long-term protection. Okay, this is long-term protection compared to the innate immune system, which is not long-term, short-term, quick, right? But this one is long-term protection. Pathogen specific long-term protection that triggers a stronger attack each time these pathogens will be re-encountered in our body, okay, through these antibodies, okay, like that. So these antibodies will be produced by our white blood cells, okay, like that. For example, if we take the vaccination, okay, these vaccines triggers our white blood cells to respond to it by producing an antibodies, a specific antibodies, okay, to kill those specific antigens, which are the viruses and the bacteria, okay, like that. And then so that we will become immune and adapted to that specific pathogen or specific viruses and parasites, meaning to say specific antibodies to a specific antigen, okay, or specific pathogen, okay, like that. So since the problem now is we have the process of virus strains, the virus strains are undergoing a mutation. Since viruses mutate frequently, so it produces a lot of virus strains, meaning a lot of behavior or shapes. For example, influenza H1N1 blah blah blah, influenza H2N12, influenza H519. So there's a lot of strains, meaning a lot of configurations of those viruses and mutate rapidly. So it will produce different antigens or different antibodies. So it involves also different and various specific antibodies to kill and destroy them. Okay, so that's the main reason. It is not a guarantee that if we receive the vaccine, uh, we will no longer, adapt to that particular virus, because due to that mutation, so it will produce a lot of, you know, virus variant, something like that, or variants of that virus, because specific antibodies to recognize, to destroy and kill the specific antigens, which are the specific viruses and bacteria that are found and detected in your immune system. Okay, something like that. So it is not a guarantee that you receive a vaccine, then you will no longer receive those other strains or other variants of virus, because that vaccine is only formulated to the specific antigens also, meaning antigens meaning viruses and bacteria. Okay, something like that. So it is really, vaccination is really a treatment and cure. It is not a prevention. Okay, going to the immunology. So our immune system function is to fight for the pathogens. Okay, so as I discussed earlier, these pathogens are disease causing microbes, okay, that can cause sickness, illnesses, and diseases. Could either be acute or chronic. Acute meaning short term period it will exist, the disease will exist, and then chronic disease long term, after 5 years, after 10 years it will occur. It depends on your age, okay, your resistance, human susceptibility, genetic factor, okay, something like that. So, or developmental organs in your body, inside your body, it depends on the system of a person. Okay, so that's chronic. It's not observed quickly. It takes years. Okay, something like that. So this will fight the pathogens. Okay, I will draw letters so that we will understand further. Okay, and then this immune system will scan any foreign materials, which are specifically the antigens that occurs within the pathogens. Okay, these viruses and bacteria, and if found and detected, okay, it will trigger the attack of these white blood cells, and they will respond. These white blood cells will respond by producing an antibodies, specific antibodies, to recognize, to destroy, and kill these antigens and pathogens that will cause diseases in our life, something like that. Okay, so that's why we need to have an adequate level also of white blood cells. Okay, now these antibodies are binded in a Y-shaped protein. Okay, okay, and this Y-shaped protein have a paratope. Okay, a paratope meaning an antigen binding site. Okay, it is a part of the antibodies that recognize and bind this antigen. I will show you a drawing later so that we can understand. Okay, it's not also good to keep on talking, okay, verbally, okay, something like that. And then this paratope will react to the epitope. Okay, epitope is really the one that will stimulate an immune response. This is specifically a foreign material of that found in the antigen, something like that. Okay, so this is gonna be the rule of thumb. Okay, or this is gonna be the mechanics of this epitope and a paratope. Meaning to say, epitope is found in antigen, and paratope is found in antibodies. Okay, and this antigen have the epitope, an outlet for the paratope to react with, so they will perform the system known as the lock and key system, something like that. And these pathogens in the antigen surface, okay, there are specific shapes there, okay, forming a lot of epitopes there. Okay, and then this antibodies also will have a specific shape also, okay, which is really the Y shape, and when it will interact or react with this antigen shapes specifically. like this. They will react. And then if their shapes are not similar, they will not perform the reaction, and there will be no lock and key system. And if the shapes of those antigens for those particular epitopes will be the same as the paratope for the Y-shaped protein by the antibodies, then it will clip and react together, okay, and it will be locked and K like this. And after that one, it will be destroyed and killed, and the K will be open, and that's the time the debris of those antigens of those parasites and bacteria will be released in our body, something like that. Okay, so it's gonna be the reaction between the antibodies and the antigens, something like that. Okay, so one way of increasing our antibodies is to have an adequate level of white blood cells, and then white blood cells can be produced in the bone marrow. So when we mean of white blood cells, those are leukocytes. Could it be lymphocytes, phagocytes, neutrophils? Those are, killer cells, meaning it would kill the cancer cells like that. Okay, so that's the situation behind for that. Okay, and then the phagocytes will really killed, and the lymphocytes will catch those microbes, and eventually it will kill them. Okay, so these are the weapon, the antibodies, okay, by the white blood cells. Okay, so we can also develop more of our antibodies through the white blood cells through eating an intake of citrus fruits rich in vitamin C, because vitamin C also is fortified with antioxidants, okay, that help protect our cells. Okay, of course, normally it will protect also the protein cells, because not usually, because Y-shaped protein antibodies is really a protein. Okay, something like that. It is a membrane protein. Okay, so develop our immune system through the intake and eat citrus fruits, green leafy vegetables. Okay, proper exercise also to increase our metabolism cycle. Okay, something like that, because the more toxins we have in our system, okay, unwanted toxic substances, the more also there's more outlet for the microbes, the bacteria and parasites to be there as their, as their environment and as their source of food, something like that, or else they will not go there without purpose. Okay, just like us, we are working to earn money, something like that. The microbes also are just like that. They have purpose inside our immune system to really destroy our immune system, to crave for their survival. So they are called bad microbes. Okay, because we have also good microbes in our microbiome family, which are the good bacteria, right? Something like that. So good exercise, regular exercise, eating citrus fruits, okay, like that. Vitamin C, okay, and because those vitamin C and citrus fruits are rich in flavonoid, okay, and polyphenols, which are rich also in antiviral agents that will be used also as the components in the vaccine. So it will really kill those microbes, right? So it's gonna be like that. In order for us to have a healthy lifestyle, is to watch and observe the right kind of food to be eaten, and the right drinks to intake in our system, something like that. So these are all about pertaining to immunology. So actually, if we put this into a practical approach of explanation, so this immune system is just like also our antivirus in our computer. It will scan all the virus, malwares like that, or any fraudulent activities that will come in our computer system, something like that. And it will also remove those viruses in our computer or malwares like that. Okay, the same like that also the principles behind with the immune system. Okay, it scans all the foreign materials, which are the pathogens, okay, okay, the antigens, viruses and bacteria and everything there. And then if found and detected, then it will trigger the attack of the antibodies, which are the Y-shaped protein. Okay, really? So we really need protein in our system, especially when we grow old. Our collagen drops, equivalent to or directly proportional to our protein also is declining. Our protein level is declining. Okay, so we need to eat food rich in protein. Okay, like that. And you know that already. What are those foods, right? You have your own research. Okay, so I don't have to explain that here because our focus on this topic is all about immunology. Okay, something like that. Okay, what else? That's the immune system, the pathogens, antibodies. Okay, so we already know the definition. Really, the antibodies are Y-shaped protein bind with the white blood cells. Okay, to recognize, destroy, and kill these antigens or the pathogens, what we know as the viruses, bacteria, each. Okay,